Twitch themselves do not understand aggressive parasocial relationships.
Mhm.
I do not think they acknowledge how bad parasocial relationships can be.
I remember getting on Twitter and just seeing the news immediately breaking about how Emiru got assaulted, and I got really scared because I didn't know what happened at first.
Okay. Let's watch the clip and then we'll let everybody have their own opinion of it really quickly.
Okay.
Hopefully you can see it. Can you see it?
Yeah, yeah,
You
we
can
could.
make it larger. Okay, is that fine?
Yeah.
You see? Cool. Awesome. Here's the clip. A random dude just walks up, security guard shows up a little bit late, and then right there you see the manager come up and take her to the back. Right there you can see that is her manager, which will be read in a statement right now. And the guy just gets shrugged off, kind of like pushed away, like, hey, dude, you're not supposed to be here. The thing is, right now, there is a lot of conversation stating that TwitchCon does not have the proper security. I feel so bad for the guy in blue hair.
Yeah.
Bro's so confused, by the way. He's like, what the hell's just going on? I just got here.
I saw some people saying like he didn't do anything about it, and I'm thinking I'm a deer in headlights in that situation. I don't know what's happening
Everybody that's
until
a,
it's happened.
yeah. Everybody that's in line is also not doing anything. What are they supposed to go beat him up? You know,
I
it's not so simple to say that.
Yeah, like in my opinion, at the point where I realize I'm like, oh, something's wrong, is the moment
Yeah.
when she pushes him away. That's when it's hard to say because obviously you would love to say you would do something, but it's much harder to say something like that when you're in the situation. And you could tell
Yeah.
by everyone's reactions. There's some extended
Look at all
videos
the
of this.
spectators.
Yeah.
Everybody's behind an imaginary line watching it happen, and then you're upset that people didn't do anything. Bro, our brains just view this imaginary line as a wall that we're not supposed to cross as it is because they're being respectful. Hey, there's a line here and we're not going to cross it. We're going to, wait our turn. And then next thing you know, someone ignores that imaginary line that everybody else interprets in their brain and does something stupid, right?
Yeah.
So to be upset with the blue haired guy, he's like, what the? Because, he doesn't know. Emiru might know this guy and he might be just confused because from his perspective, he's coming from the behind him,
Yeah.
right? So he doesn't know if it's someone that Emiru might know. It might be like another bigger streamer. So to say why didn't he do anything is not. Don't blame someone that's just like there.
Dude,
It's not his fault. It's not his responsibility. It's not his role.
the blame should just be on the security who even let that
That's it.
happen. The
Yeah,
whole
that's it.
it's like if you're at a it's like if you're at a red light. The red light system teaches us, hey, stop there, wait for your turn. If I see a car passing through a red light, and the moment I'm shook, I don't know what's happening. I start looking and I get curious of what's happening. But the fact that someone just ran a red is bizarre to me. The concept is so weird to me.
Yeah, because I think people are assuming this because they've seen the clip so many times. They're viewing it in minutes, but it's in seconds, in
Yeah.
split seconds. This is a 5 minute. This video is 10 seconds long. This sequence lasts probably what doesn't even start till once second one. The person is now walking up to them. It doesn't start till second one. The incident happens by second 3. There's 2 seconds to react to this.
Yeah.
You're telling me this poor dude could do something in 2 seconds when he doesn't even know what's going on. He right here in this frame, he even looks flustered. He's like, "Oh shit, my bad. I got it." Like he's interrupting something, right? So, and then the security guard brings him back to reality. Poor dude, bro. The guy in the blue hair is so like thrown off. He's like, "What's going on, bro? I'm just here."
Dude, it's so messed up because in the full context clip, by the way, it you see that Emiru gets taken to the back, right?
Yeah,
Like I believe in the curtains or something. But
yeah,
I thought that's it. Like she's done for the day. We're moving on because that is an absurd like moment to
Thing to
witness,
happen. Yeah.
especially because that is your fear. Like she mentioned countless of times that she didn't want to do it, and if I'm not mistaken, she Twitch told her you got to do it if you want to keep your show, and she's like, fine, I'm gonna do it, but like security, what's going on there? Then this happens. Day one, this happens, and guess
Friday.
what happens? They brought her to the back like a minute maybe. They bring her back outside and they just resume what's happening. Like that's at least what the clip
Really?
I saw. Yeah.
Okay, that's crazy. Let's read her statement and then we'll go from there.
Mhm.
So right here, we're seeing her response. Hello, everyone. I'm okay, and thank you for all the kind messages. Sorry, I cannot respond to them all. Yesterday, the man who assaulted me was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon and event in front of another creator's meet and greet to grab me and my face and try to kiss me. Fortunately, he wasn't able to, but a lot of people have pointed out it could have been a lot worse. For those that don't know, there have been other creators that have died because of incidents like this, where a sporadic fan decides to walk up and do something even more horrendous. This obviously was not worst case scenario, but it is pretty shitty that it even happened. I'm
Yeah.
obviously shaken up by what happened, and it's not the first time I've dealt with something like this. But to tell you honestly, I'm a lot more hurt and upset by how Twitch handled it during and after the fact. Like I said, I don't understand how he was allowed to make it to me in the first place. The security in the clip who reacts is my own security. It's true, my favorite and usual security guard was banned for holding a stalker's arm to bring him to police at a past TwitchCon. However, there were at least 3 or 4 other TwitchCon security staff in the area who did not react and let the guy walk away. As you can see in the clip, since they don't even appear in the frame. LOL. You want to say anything before I keep going?
Yeah. Just to brush back, can you bring it back to the other one, just so I
Yeah.
don't lose my point? Um. So the thing the thing that's so messed up is that Emiru has every reason to be scared. In the past, if you kept up with the streamers, like if you even look at Pokemon Cena and stuff like that, you will hear about like a stalker following them during like their IRL streams. You will hear about like certain people's behaviors and actions, and it's just absurd. And you I feel like that's why you see a contribution for a lot of people hiding their faces, whether it be like VTubers or even manga writers, right? Like they're hiding their
Yeah.
personalities because, like, just for existing, they'll get like death threats or they'll get like these targeted attacks just for existing. It feels like, right? And so, like, she obviously wanted to avoid this, but to not even have your own security, like, she. I don't know too much about it, but if she has her own security, she might feel like a lot more comfortable. And having to go in there with someone that, isn't her right hand man, that is already scary on its own. Like she's just
Yeah.
praying that like nothing bad happens, and there's 3 or 4 other staff that just don't do anything about it. The guy just walks away, by the way. There's random clips too of other people's POVs of like random people who are streaming the event where
Mhm.
you see the guy after he walks away just leaves. Just casually leaves the venue like nothing happened. Like if it was just another Tuesday, like, oh, I tried to kiss her, it didn't work out. Well, we try again next year. Like what? How is that? How are we just letting someone who sexually
You say it
assaults
like that,
someone?
it sounds horrible. By
It
the way,
because
holy shit.
it's insane. Like, why can you just try to sexually assault someone in public in front of million people's eyes in recorded footage and think you're going to get away with that? And the
Yeah.
fact that Twitch is like, yes, you should get away with that. Here's the 30-day ban for your account. What?
We see that you're spending so much money on Twitch that we don't want to ban you indefinitely. So here's the 30-day ban, bro. Sorry about that, but
It
don't do
feels
that
that
again, bro.
way. It feels that way. Like what do you mean 30-day ban? First of all,
We
we
don't
could
ban wells around here at Twitch.
what even
Bro, it's so bad when you say it like that.
if this is a 30-day ban, like what if he had like attacked her, maybe like even killed her, it's like we hear your complaints, 3-month ban. Like no man, send him to prison. Like
Yeah.
it's ridiculous.
Why isn't the information being provided to authorities? I think it's okay. past that, before I even keep reading, I will say everybody that's saying Emiru should sue Twitch does not understand that your employer, you'd have to sue your employer. If you sue your employer, you basically ruin your opportunities of working for that employer. So if you're suing Twitch, it's like saying, I'm going to go to stream on YouTube or I'm going to go stream on Kick. It's so much harder for people to understand that argument. Hey, just sue Twitch, bro. Like you deserve a paycheck. Yeah, calm down.
Hmm.
As much as everybody likes to be so irrationally upset about it, you have to also understand it from Emiru's perspective. If I sue Twitch for being stupid about this, you know, I'm basically biting the hand that feeds me, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, for
So
sure.
it's complicated. It's not so simple. There's a lot of things that Twitch can do hidden or quietly to your algorithm that could ruin you. You know, they could ban you easily. Their mods can just ban people whenever they want. So to ban you whenever they want, it's not going to be hard. It really isn't. They have all control over it. So to say, oh, just, bro, Emery, you should sue them.
It it's also really tough because when you look at the streaming services, like people can argue that Twitch has the monopoly. Like you don't want to go on Kick because people worry about their safety a lot on the website, is what I've heard, especially in this
Yeah,
concern. At YouTube, like they don't even have a live category section. Like you would have to look for your
it's very
content creator.
complicated. Yeah,
Yeah,
unless you get recommended the live, it's just not the same.
like Twitch is the place to be at, and like when y- your business is saying that they don't care about you this much, it is very difficult to like
Yeah,
not want
no,
to
I agree.
like cause an outrage, but like at the same time, like it's your employer. And I know I think she brings it up in her statement in the second half where she does press charges on the guy, which I'm thankful. I hopefully like that actually gets resolved and such because
Yeah,
that's ridiculous, dude.
yeah, because you'd press charges against him. The complicated part, because generally people that get affected in certain cases, let's say you slip at a business, right? You
Mhm.
sue the business for the lack of awareness of, that would have been avoided. And yes, if you were a regular customer that showed up to TwitchCon and that happened to you, yes, you probably would want to sue as many people as possible because you feel like it could have been avoidable. The reason Emiru may not sue Twitch is because it's kind of like suing your employer who has a lot of control over how much money you will make after that. So it's not so simple. It's complicated, right? You
Yeah.
can't just say, but if you were a regular attendee that happened to you, you could sue them for lack of security and lack of awareness. Totally valid. But if it's who's paying your bills, bro, it's just tricky. Moving on. The woman who is walking me away is my personal manager. And behind the booth, the only two people who were checking on me and comforting me were her and my friend. None of the TwitchCon staff came to ask what happened or if I was okay. My friend who was present told me Twitch security were also behind the booth afterwards, joking about how they didn't even see what happened and immediately laughing and moving on to talking about something else. So if no one was checking if I was okay or if I needed anything, and they let the guy run away initially, I have no idea what anyone hired to keep the event safe was doing. LOL. In Twitch's statement, they said that the guy was immediately caught and detained. I'm sorry, but that is a blatant lie. He was allowed to walk away from my meet and greet, and I didn't hear he was caught until hours after he attacked me. And it felt like this only happened because of my manager pressing for it, not because TwitchCon staff present thought it was a big deal. I have a lot more I want to say, but I will say it on stream later today instead of writing a book on here. Finally, I have a lot more I want to say, but I will say it on stream later today.
Yeah.
Oh, I already read
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you guys again. Sorry you all had to see that. This is definitely my last TwitchCon, and it saddens me to say, as a 10-year off and on attendee of TwitchCon, I think other creators should seriously consider not attending in the future. I did not feel cared for or protected. Even bringing my own security and staff, I can't imagine how creators without those options would feel. Stay safe, y'all. Everything is going to be okay.
I I do think one thing that a lot of people tend to discuss when it comes to like your job and such is like at the end of the day, they really don't care about you. You need to worry about yourself. Like this, and this applies to everything, right?
To any job.
Yeah, to any job. And this is just like a very poignant case because again, like we mentioned earlier, like if something really bad happened to Emiru, like look how they're handling this. Like would they have done anything crazier? I don't think so. Letting the guy
So
walk away, are you kidding me, man? Like I was so sad by the way, because when I heard the news, obviously as devastated as I was with the assault and everything, I was happy about the fact that they detained the guy immediately. I was like, nice. I was like, that's the kind of stuff we need to see because you can't just let stuff like that fly. Then to hear that that's
yeah,
not only wrong, but that he just walks out of the building completely fine, that's ridiculous. And just like how she mentioned, we don't think that this would probably would have stopped there if Emeru's manager wasn't like, "Are you kidding me? Like
yeah,
you
exactly.
guys are sociopaths." Like
Trying to find the statement from Twitch. There was a statement already placed by Twitch.
I think they posted on X maybe.
Yeah, bear with me.
I will say, even talking about the statement, something I found interesting about what Twitch stated was it was a day later or somewhere like 3 in the morning if you live like in North America around that time period, where they posted their statement and they didn't even include Emiru's name, and
Yeah,
overall the
I
statement was
found it.
just like completely, it's
Ready
insane.
to read it?
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right, let's
let's
get
get
it.
into it.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay.
The safety and security of all those attending TwitchCon is our highest priority. The behavior displayed by the individual involved in the incident yesterday involving a high profile streamer was completely unacceptable and deeply upsetting. Just a heads up, this is exactly what Twitch stated. In line with existing TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement and event security were on site and responded to the incident. We immediately blocked this individual from returning to the TwitchCon premises, and they are banned indefinitely from Twitch, both online and in person events. We are coordinating with the impacted creators team and, per our standard protocol, continue to cooperate with any law enforcement investigations. We have increased security at the meet and greet attendee check-in point, and we'll have additional security personnel surrounding participating streamers. If you RSVP'd for a meet and greet, please note that we are unable to accommodate plus ones for the remainder of the event, such as zero tolerance for harassment or acts that inhibit the safety and security of our community.
So I do want to brush on something that they mentioned near the end. On one of the last statements, they mentioned about the plus ones for the remainder of the event.
Yeah,
Uh, People were saying their experiences, how someone did a meet and greet with Emiru, and you had to had signed up for like months in advance. That person
yeah,
wasn't signed up at all. This is not the person who attacked Emiru, by the way. This was just
yeah.
a random fan who was saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be honest, like I didn't have it." Not only that, but there was also another video that was surfacing where like security like would check their badges and someone's badge wasn't work and they're like, "Yeah, you're good, just go through."
Because they
Just
were streaming. So it was one of those things where the person, the crew member, by the way, okay, if you have never done an event, I'm gonna turn this off. If you've never done an event, here's something that you have to know. I have done PAX, I've done DreamHack, I've done Evo. I've done a lot of these conventions as a volunteer and sometimes as paid. So sometimes they'll pay you maybe $15, maybe $18 an hour. Amazing, badass, make a few bucks throughout the weekend. It's not a lot if you think about it in the sense that it's only 3 days of work and it's 8 hours instead of going to enjoy the event, you're there stuck. So these crew members were probably volunteer crew members. When I say that, I mean instead of, it's kind of like quick hires basically, but it's people that are invested in the scene or invested like DreamHack when they pick up staff members were basically what used to be the DreamHack volunteers. We used to not get paid and stuff like that. TwitchCon probably was the exact same thing where before they would just hire volunteers, but they realized, hey, why don't we just give them a few bucks? And that way it's a little bit higher performance or it's a little bit more incentivized to do a good job. If
mhm.
that makes sense. So that was the reasoning behind it. Anyways, when I saw that clip, I can guarantee you that that person was just a stand-in. There's it's tricky when these are constantly yearly events kind of thing. Where's that staff member throughout the year?
Hmm.
They're not long-term hires. They're just 3-day hires, right? They're just there for those 3 days. They don't give a shit. If they're great staff members, amazing. They love you, by the way, at the conventions. If you're not, they're just gonna deal with you and they're just gonna be like, hey, can you kind of do your job a little bit better?
Hmm.
Some people do their job better, some people don't. If you're getting paid $7 an hour, you kind of hate it. If you're getting paid 10, maybe you like it a little bit more. If you're getting paid 15, hey, solid. But realistically, you want to go enjoy the convention, but you just got to do that for 5-8 hours, depending on how much you sign up for.
Yeah.
Have you ever done convention volunteering?
I've done volunteering at some events, but I've never seen the whole process maybe. Because usually what
Hmm.
happens if I'm like halfway through and they're like, hey, we need some help, and I'll help around. Um,
The security that they probably have at TwitchCon is probably just the venue. So they, I wouldn't say it's outside, depends on the venue. Not all venues are the same. Sometimes they contract outside, but sometimes they're long term staff members,
mhm.
but they're very low paid staff members. I will say that. It's very easy to tell that these long-term staff members are low paid, but the venue itself, since they host so many events, whether it be bi-daily, every 3 days, every weekend, they do want that security to be consistent, so that way they can just charge the event host, hey, this is how much security is going to be, depending on you're required to have security by a certain amount of attendees, et cetera, et cetera.
Mhm.
So I saw all the clips, bro. They didn't really care because the reason they don't care is because it's just another weekend to them. It's just another event. There's nothing special, and my guess is that there isn't a lot of coaching for the experience that they're gonna have. My last point here is that I believe Twitch themselves do not understand aggressive parasocial relationships.
Mhm.
I do not think they acknowledge how bad parasocial relationships can be. And it's really interesting that YouTube experience of getting 1 million viewers is not at the same level as someone as getting 1,000 consistent viewers on Twitch. That is a massive parasocial relationship because you're spending 5 hours, 8 hours straight with that person, and you can ask them a question at any point during that time frame. On YouTube, watching their video that has 1 million views, that creator probably has less parasocial, I'm gonna say weaker
Yeah.
parasocial relationships than that Twitch streamer that has 1,000. So that's what I'm saying. I don't think Twitch acknowledges how big of a problem the parasocial relationships are. That's what I'm gonna
It's
pause myself on.
it's also just like they underestimate it too or something because they
Yeah,
act like this was just whatever. And
yeah,
I need you guys to know the CEO of Twitch, if I'm not mistaken, Dan something.
yeah,
He was streaming earlier today. This is being recorded the day after the incident, by the way. He was
yeah.
streaming earlier today, and he was just recording himself going around the event, like if nothing had happened. Like you had people talking about it in Twitch chat, like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" Like, "Oh, so who's getting assaulted today?" Right? And not even addressing it, not even talking about it, just acting like nothing happened. 14 minutes into the VOD, if I'm not mistaken, he's like, oh, we have to cut this because of an erupt meeting that I have to go to. And you could see like he's very bothered. Some people were speculating that it was related to obviously everything that was going on.
So he only streamed for 14 minutes, even though streams. Wait. Even though streams generally, right, will go a lot longer. Is his Twitch DJ Clancy?
It was
Yes,
something like that, yeah.
yes, it is. It is DJ Clancy. Okay, let's see what the average stream time is. By the way, uh, hours streamed. Let's see here. He generally streams I'm gonna say 2 to 3 hours. Let me
Yeah.
take a guess here because it's really hard to see where I'm looking at.
And oh, first of all, to abruptly end your stream, I mean, you got to have some awareness that what's happening in your Twitch chat, honestly, because
Yeah,
from the get-go, like once it starts, like it's like a black screen. I guess they're like setting it up or whatever. People are already furious in the comments. Like, if anything, people were waiting for this guy to go live because hey, we want to hear your statement. This is
yeah,
serious, right? And for you to be like, hey guys, I'm at the event. Let's see what happens today. You know, bands are playing. Let's go listen to them. Meanwhile, you're losing your mind because you're just like, please address the elephant in the room, man.
yeah,
Everyone,
exactly.
everyone is waiting, and
Let's
to
see.
act like, well, if first of all, if he's thinking we already addressed it on the Twitch statement, I'm upset because that is nothing. You didn't even say the streamer's name. Like,
Yeah, I'm looking at his previous streams. He has, though, I will say, just so that it isn't just black and white here. There has been cases where he only streamed zero point 0.3 hours. The stream that you're referring to, it was 0.2.
mhm,
So that one is not related to the incident. And it was just a quick 0.3 hour stream. And there was another one where he just did a quick 0.7 hour stream. So it might not have been intentional. Just a heads up. It might not have been intentional that he streamed for such a short amount of time. Just a heads up.
mhm.
Because there's other streams where he did not stream for that long, and there's even another one that I see that he only streamed for like 0. Just a heads up.
What's crazy though is that in this most recent one, where it ends abruptly,
Yeah.
and we can assume, people were speculating it was like related to Emiru's situation. The way he talks about it, ends up saying something of along the lines of, I don't mean to just start a stream and end it shortly after. I apologize. We'll get back to the stream later, hopefully today, this and that. We'll see what happens. But like,
Yep.
dude, hearing that as the answer and like just as the overall summary, I'm just like,
Oh, it's pretty rough out here,
yeah.
isn't it?
By the way, big shout outs to Emiru because she's not letting this slide. Like, she has made her statement, and honestly, she's letting social media do their own thing, where like they're going through the discourse of this and how bad it is. But um,
Yeah.
there was like a show that she had gone through that she was with like Baby No Money, Sire, and a couple other people. It looked like a game show.
Okay.
Um, but Emeru was coughing and she accidentally coughed into the mic, and she had mentioned, she was like, "Oh, sorry, it must be the mono that I got from the meet and greet yesterday." And obviously everyone reacted like, "Wow." Because just for reference, in Emeru's post, she said that like nothing had happened, but the call out to Twitch, even in that statement, like she's making it very obvious. She's very upset. We have to do something about this because this is not okay.
Yeah.
And that's something that's really hard because it's easy that everyone's going to want to brush away this, or maybe even like go all the way to like try to victimize her, but you can't. Like, it has to be something that we're going to discuss, and it's going to be hard, but it's for our safety at the end of the day.
It's really, really tricky. And okay, this is my last thought because realistically, we can talk in circles, but I feel there's so much to say, but there's also, it's like my final thoughts is Emiru should have been allowed her security guards. The fact that they got banned because they did their job at a previous TwitchCon and they said, "Hey, this guy's stalking one of the content creators. Here you go, cops. I'm gonna go back to doing my job." The fact that that wasn't allowed is very confusing. Um, these parasocial relationships are just they're very ingrained in our brains. And remember explaining it to someone and saying, it's to me, as someone that believes at first, actually, I thought I was not parasocial relationships didn't affect me. But what was interesting for my brain, even though I'm never thinking of like, oh, I'm going to text my homie or I can't wait to go see a content creator. I've never been someone to think of like when I watch a movie, oh, I can't wait to go get a signature. I don't really care to get fan signatures or anything like that, or get like a meet and greet photo. That's not the type of person I am. But because of how much I watch these content creators, they will sometimes like I'll imagine having like a bro situation with them, like hanging out and playing video games with them, kind of thing. So the fact that like my brain will do that, even though I don't care, right? Like I said, of the whole celebrity thing of getting signatures and stuff like that, my brain is having that parasocial situation where I believe I'm friends with this person
Hmm.
because I'm seeing them so much. My brain registers them as one of my friends.
Right.
You can assume someone that watches even more an excessive amount of hours. How do you think their brains like being affected in how they interpret?
Yeah, and the crazy part is that there just needs to be one bad parasocial relationship that can end up to a very tragic event.
Yeah,
And that's what's really scary. Because at the end of the day, like, Emiru and every other streamer, celebrity, you are your own person. You're just if anything, you're being like entertaining, right? The whole reason you're doing, whether you're, a cosplayer, you're an artist, you stream
yeah,
games, right? It doesn't matter. You're just living your life. You're like, hey guys, come join this with me. I'm doing this. But some people are
yeah,
like, that's my wife, without like having a single interaction with them. That is
yeah.
insane to think about, because like we can brush this off as like that's just one weird guy in the chat, but that one weird guy in the chat can just go and make a bad incident, kind of like what we
I
just
have you
saw.
ever seen those horror stories where uh someone attacks someone saying, "Oh, it's because I knew them," and they go look at their diary and stuff like that. Someone that they've been stalking for a long time, and it has stories of that person as if they knew that person, but the person that got attacked didn't even know who they were, never saw them, never thought, never.
Hmm.
Nothing. It's nothing, right? And it's crazy that this can happen to just regular folks that never post anything on social media and they still get stalked, kind of thing. So you can only assume how much of a horror situation it's got to be when you yourself are streaming for that many hours at a time.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to think about, right? Like it's
What
just,
was the reindeer something? The reindeer man? What was the Netflix show?
oh, is there one like with that concept that happened recently?
Baby reindeer. It is baby reindeer. I didn't watch it, but apparently it's the story of a stalker kind of thing. People told me it was really good. I'm not gonna watch it because it sounded weird as shit. But it is in relation to a stalker, and this is a good example of, bro. Like it's people can become obsessive very easily
Hmm.
if they're not in the right headspace.
Right.
It's just very weird. What are your final thoughts?
I mean, I feel like I've kind of said most of it, but like just to reiterate, it is very sad. It is very disappointing. Like Twitch's response, I'm very devastated anytime any person
Yeah,
goes through what feels like mistreatment as a human being. Like it's just not something you wish on anybody. Whether
yeah.
you like the person or not, it's just come on. Like let's just be normal for once. And to see that it was just normalized by Twitch, very very heartbreaking. I hope that something positive comes out of this where security goes up a lot, because I'm tired of events having to happen before security goes up, then having something like this occur over and over again.
I just can't keep happening, dude. And I would understand. It's just tricky. You know how the example, the most recent one that I can think of is the Japanese president got shot when he was just like shaking hands, kissing babies.
Oh wow, I didn't hear about that.
He didn't. Yeah, it was a while ago, but it was the one that I can think of most recently.
Hmm.
But that's an example of if someone doesn't like you, what if it's like a parasocial but like negative, right?
Yeah.
So if someone doesn't like you and say you ruined my family's life, right? Because he's the president or the prime minister, or whatever.
Yeah.
Uh, prime minister, is it prime minister
I was
or is
gonna
it president?
say maybe
Um, yeah,
I.
he Shinzo Abe.
Uh-huh.
He got shot by a handmade gun, I think, or homemade gun. It was crazy, dude. It was
It
absolutely insane.
it is sad, but it's one of those things where if someone wants you dead, they can make it happen.
It happened in 2022, by the way. But that's the crazy part. It happens when you're shaking hands. I think that's why a lot of celebrities don't like doing meet and greets. And I think, by the way, this might give a few people cold feet for a few months, but then after that, it'll go back. Unless something else, right, bad happens.
Right.
Because bigger celebrities also see this and they're like, oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm
Like
gonna take a step back.
it's relevant for everyone. Like,
Anyone
if
with status, yeah, I think it's relevant to anyone with status.
and that's the insane part. Because now
Even
everyone else is
dudes,
thinking their own
yeah,
events.
even
Yeah.
dudes will feel uncomfortable because what I mean, what a lot of people don't acknowledge is that dudes also don't want to get sexually assaulted, right? Where you have a crazy fan girl trying to give you a big kiss and you're like, brother, what the fuck?
Yeah. And
I'm married. What the fuck?
and for everyone involved, like it's just a deer in headlights moment, right? You
Yeah.
you don't
2
expect.
seconds. We saw it. We saw it.
Yeah.
2 seconds, dude.
It's insane what can happen just like that. One second you're shaking someone's hand, another second you're pushing someone off of you. That's
Yeah.
crazy. I don't. It's oh man, that's so sad.
Yeah, it's really insane. But yeah, that's if you know, you know,
You know.
you know.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching and supporting us. Uh, big appreciate. Please let Twitch know that you hate them. Do
What?
better.
You're not gonna keep watching Twitch like everyone else?
No.
What? Why
I
not?
okay. Unfortunately, but I really hope it does better. If you guys enjoyed the video, let us know in the comments below. What do you think about the whole situation? Do you think it's messed up? I,
Find
it's
out
over.
here today on idle screens.
But that's it for us today. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Bye, guys.